Start us off. What's your top 10?
Yeah, so let me take you guys through my top 10, and then you guys can kind of critique it, and then I'll let you guys give us yours, and we kind of break it down as we go through. So at the top, I don't think there's going to be much debate here. So I ranked mine mostly based on this year's performance well, that's not true, like a 60-40 between this year's performance and like future performance. At the top, I had Stan. I think that's pretty obvious, and I can't imagine you guys are going to have a different ranking there. Dad has 7 players in the top 30, which is just honestly just absurd. He's dunking on our entire league right now. And quite frankly, yes, he's one of the older teams in the league. He's like the 3rd oldest team. But he has some young dudes like Tyrese Maxey. So honestly, he's got DeJounte Murray. He's got Domantas Sabonis. So he has some young core to take him to the future. In second place, as much as it hurts me in my soul to put Josh second, I have Josh as the second best team. Again, 4 players in the top 30. I think honestly, Josh, that Anthony Edwards pick is really what put you over the top. As well as your vicious wrecking of David in the trade where you gave him Brandon Ingram for Christian Wood. And although Colin Sexton has been
he's out for the season, man.
Yeah.
And Christian Wood's only that good because he's on Houston. Once he goes to a real team, those stats are dropping through the floor.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, I feel like I gifted you your team because I didn't take Joel Embiid, and you get Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid. So whatever. You took advantage.
So you're welcome, Josh.
Yeah, you're welcome. Basically, I made your team.
I took advantage. Basically, what you're saying is I took advantage of your poor decision making.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. But
that's fine.
Almost
in a way that doesn't make me look as bad.
It's almost like you've been around the guy for a while, so you know when he's making poor decisions.
In third place, I had Tony. Honestly, Tony has the second best record right now. The only reason I didn't put him above you is just he has a very old team. He's the second oldest team. He does have LaMelo, which I think that's a young superstar who's going to be good for a long time and is likely going to be the cornerstone of the Charlotte franchise. So I don't think he has too much to worry about in terms of he's got some youth there, but he needs more than just one guy. In fourth, I have Dustin. Dustin is the 3rd youngest team, and he's still putting up top half points. I think he's 6th or 7th in total in points for. Plus, he hasn't even had Zion playing yet, which is just terrifying to think of. So he's going to get better as the season goes on, assuming that Zion is not crippled for the rest of his life. In 5th, I had Tyler. I really like Tyler's team, actually. It's an older team. He's the 5th oldest team in the league. He's got 3 players in the top 30, but I mean, Giannis is a beast. To be quite frank, Giannis could do more. He actually doesn't play that many minutes for a superstar, like who their team is riding on him. So in theory, his production could get even higher, which is crazy. He's got Tyrese Halliburton, who could get better. He's got some young guys. He doesn't have any young superstars unless Kuminga turns out to be a superstar, which I don't know. I mean, I like Kuminga, so we'll see.
Or Ayton.
Yeah, or Ayton. That's true.
Or Halliburton could.
Yeah, I think all 3 of those guys. He's got some good young talent, which I like. Right behind him, and I know it will pain Jared to hear this, that I ranked him lower than his brother, but I ranked Jared right below Tyler, mainly just because he only has 1 player in the top 30 on his entire team. Now, granted, I think that will change. That didn't include Kristaps, and Kristaps has been playing out of his mind recently.
He's injured again, isn't he?
It's like a finger thing, though, right? I don't think it's significant.
An ankle.
Oh, that's
you kind of need those to move on the basketball court.
You do.
What does an ankle do?
But really? I was watching Kristaps the other night. He looks sick. In 7th, I put myself. I have the youngest team. I also only have 1 player in the top 30. But I mean, Evan Mobley looks like he's going to be a generational talent. And I got a few guys that I really do believe in. I do expect things to start to peak. I might have peaked the first week. Let's put it that way. So I don't expect to win anything this season. In 8th, I have Clay. He's going to be a little salty to hear that I rank myself above him, given that he's the defending champ. But I think his record this year shows that last year was a little fluky.
You know,
Nothing-
I am shocked looking at Clay's team that he won last year. I don't know how this happened.
I kind of agree, but I will say, in his defense, Clay has one of the youngest teams in the league, and he's got John Morant, who is a bona fide superstar. So I believe in the future of his team, and he has Trae Young. That's true. So as Trae adjust to the new rules.
The thing I would say about Clay, though, is he did just get married, and as David is an indication, early on in the league, he was pretty good. This year, he kind of sucked. So he got married. I'm seeing
start to lose that focus, you know.
It's
like Clay's
misplaced priorities. Priorities.
That's exactly right. That's exactly. You and I are lonely and single, and thus very good at fantasy basketball.
Obviously, God forbid.
Josh has success. You have potential success, Katie.
So I'm lonely, single, and not good at fantasy basketball. Is what I just.
Yeah, but you got potential. You know,
potential. That's all that matters.
You're a hipple.
I'll take it. And in ninth, and this might be a bit of a shocker. I actually has Kobe's team. He's the sixth youngest team. I love Darius Garland. I actually still like Ben Simmons, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell. I think he's got a good core that's going to grow to even produce more in the future. I mean, if the dude would just log in his players more often, I think he'd win more games. Jalen Suggs.
Ben Simmons is injured. I mean, he'll eventually play.
Yeah, I like.
Sorry, I said injured. He's not injured.
No, you should
say. Depends on if the Braves that something you consider an injury.
Speaking of Ben Simmons, I saw an article the other day that literally he is coming back because he's going broke. I don't know how valid it was. It was from some sort of some sports blog or something like that. But yeah, so I think he's going to have to come back sometime pretty soon, even if it is just to Philadelphia.
Something's got to give.
Yeah, I would agree. If he ever wants to date Kylie Jenner, he's got to make a little bit more money than what he has right now.
So Kylie Jenner?
No, he just wants to be. Yeah, it seems like he's that type of dude. Wants to be he wants to be one of the Kardashians.
Join that Chris Humphries.
So in last place, or I guess in 10th place, because we have a 14-team league. In 10th place, I put Kara. She's got a solid two-man core in Kyrie and Kawhi. Unfortunately, both those guys are not playing right now, which is really hurting her performance this season. But she also picked up Devin Vassell, which I like. She's got some other good young players, and her core isn't that old. So I think she'll age well. Admittedly, I will say her team as a whole is kind of old. She's actually the fourth oldest team, but a lot of that is because she has some older role players that she could replace with younger guys in the draft over the next couple of years.
Barnes.
Yeah, she's got some really solid young core guys, and her top performers are really not that old. So that's my
top performers are like middle of their prime, pretty much.
Also, I mean, let's talk. We don't spend enough time talking about Devin Vassell. I feel like we should get into talking about Devin.
We never cover this guy.
We've never spent 9 minutes of a whole podcast on Devin Vassell.
But Dane, I'm going to be honest. I don't have much negative feedback for your list, except that you left me out. I don't know what you're thinking. You probably just forgot that my team exists.
I'm going to be totally honest, David. I don't think your team's in the top 10. Sorry, buddy.
Unbelievable.
But that's my list. David, you're welcome to go next if you'd like.
Absolutely. Oh, go ahead, Josh.
Well, 1 second before we go that, I have a couple things that on the just to correct you a little bit, and it does have to pertain to Devin Vassell, is she didn't actually pick up Devin Vassell. Kara picked him in the draft 2 years ago, and it was from the recommendation of yours truly. So I would like to.
Not true at all.
But if she did, then she dropped him because I put in a bid to pick him up.
Yeah. She picked him up on the waiver wire, so you don't know what you're talking about.
No, she did draft him. She must have dropped him and then picked him back up.
She may have, but she picked him up off the waiver wire this year.
Interesting.
In the end, Josh, your advice amounted to nothing.